Should I take some questions? We got some people. We got already someone from Portugal, someone from Switzerland. Sophie Michou from Switzerland. We got questions about vinyl. I would love to do vinyl, but people, there's got to be a huge, huge demand for it because it's very expensive to print vinyl, and there's only a very few places that actually print vinyl these days, and so there has to be a huge demand for it. And I hope if there's a lot of demand for it that we can do that. It'd be a lot of fun to do that with Thunderbolt and Lightning. Marc, stop saying Marc, stop being so self-conscious. There I go again. I'm looking through your questions here, folks, friends, countrymen and non-countrymen, and women and people. Scotland. Eddie, I hope to come to Scotland sometime very soon. Carla, I hope to come to Brazil sometime very soon. These are all beautiful places that I would like to come very soon. Anna loves Love of My Life. I love that one too. I'm so happy with the arrangement that Ben Shive was able to come up with on that. I knew he would kill it. For those of you not having English as your first language, killing it means a very good thing these days. So Ben killed that track. What else we got here, people? I'm trying to look through your questions and not be boring. Susanna, your favorite songs are One Year of Love, Who Wants to Live Forever, These Are the Days of Our Lives. Well, maybe I'll cover those someday. Steve asks, any unfinished Queen demos you can bring to life with the band? I'd have to get my hands on some unfinished Queen demos. I don't know. That'd be interesting. That'd be a deep cut, wouldn't it? A Queen song that nobody knows is a Queen song. A Queen song that not only is not well known, but not known at all. My phone keeps falling. I got to remember to stay hydrated because I'm in a desert, and there's no harder place to sing than in the desert. You know, I don't know how Celine Dion did it, doing so many shows in Vegas. Maybe, I don't know if she actually lives in Vegas. She must if she's there so much. Or maybe she lives in LA when she's doing the Vegas thing and flies in, because this climate is what they call arid. And arid is really not good to keep vocals supple and hydrated, so I got to keep making sure I drink the water as much as possible, even if that means more trips to the bathroom. What part of the process, Robert asks, what part of the process during recording did you find the most challenging? What part of the process? Well, that's a good question, Robert. I'm so close to these songs, having performed them so many times over the last 6 or 7 years, that there's a term in the songwriting world called it's demoitis, and that means when you have an inflammation of your demo, meaning that you're so close to it. It comes from when you write a song and you create a little demo of it for people to hear it before you actually record it properly. And you get so attached to that version of the song that whatever you do in the studio, no matter how amazing it is, you don't feel in your heart that it's better than what you first come up with, even though it might be a lot better. So I had a really bad case of demoitis with these Queen songs when I got into the studio, and I fully admitted that to my producers, Ben Shive and Brent Milligan and John Fields. I said, you guys got to help me with this to help reimagine these tunes, because it's hard for me to imagine them any other way, since I've spent the last 6 or 7 years not only performing them, but trying my best to perform them as close to the original recording as possible. So I haven't really been given the freedom to reimagine these tunes. And so these guys that I worked with helped me kind of break out of that mold. And that was definitely the toughest part. And once you kind of got out of that original feeling of, how do I make this already incredible song different? Not better, but different. That was really challenging. Lucas asks a techie question. Lucas Ribeiro, what's your setup at home? Sorry for those of you. I hope you're not bored by this, but I'm a bit of a geek, and he's asking about. Why won't it let me go back to his question? He's asking about my setup essentially at home. Do I do my own recording? Yes, I do a lot of my own recording at home. I have the Pro Tools software, which has been what I've recorded on since the very beginning, since I was in college. That's the only program I use to record, and I have my own home studio, and very thankful. You know, I was just sitting in my home studio a few days ago with a friend, just being thankful, having a moment of thankfulness, sitting in my home studio going, I have pretty much everything I need. And if like 20-year-old me was sitting here, he would just feel like a little kid in a candy shop, because I have everything I need to make music. Not only that, but I know so many people that I can call on to help me in areas that aren't my expertise. And you know, I've got a beautiful piano to play whenever I want to play. I got beautiful guitars to play. You know, so yeah, it's pretty simple, Lucas. I don't have anything strange. It's just straight up computer and some good microphones, and the rest comes down to performance and having an ear for music. Trudging through the questions. I should have my own sort of Jeopardy theme music, but original. I don't want to rip off Jeopardy, but have like my own, like looking through the questions, looking through them now. Maples asks if I feel nervous when I'm on stage, because I don't know how to stay calm when I'm on stage. That was something I had to overcome. And you know, that's part of maybe what made me go into music, was because I was a very shy person. I was a very shy kid. Which is actually part of why I got into music, was because I got to express myself through music, because words weren't something that came, conversation was never something that came easy to me as a kid. And I've gotten over a lot of those hurdles, and I remember getting literally sickly nervous about competing in a lip sync contest when I was in grade school. And I got into the finals of this lip sync contest. I wasn't even singing. I was just lip syncing to a Keith Green song, or maybe it was a Michael Jackson song. I forget. And they had the finals of the competition on a Saturday. I remember this was weird because it wasn't a school day. They decided to do this thing on a Saturday for some reason. And I woke up so nervous that morning, knowing that I had to go on stage for the possibility of winning this contest. And I had a literal tummy ache. And my mom said that I could stay home and not go for a lip sync contest. So I was super, super shy. And I realized that was something I was going to have to overcome if I was going to do music as a profession. Not that I knew that I was going to do music as a profession, but if I was going to do music at all, because it was my favorite thing to do, it was all that I wanted to do. I didn't even want to go play with my friends outside. I would stay inside and play the piano and learn Richard Marx songs. But yeah, I had to get over my fear. For me, it was all about practicing and practicing and practicing, knowing that I could perform something in my sleep, and saying, I've done my work. If I perform on stage and I forget something, then we're all human. But yes, I used to get nervous, but I don't really get nervous anymore. I got over that a long time ago, and I've been affirmed by so many people. You know, that's the power of affirmation from people, and telling me, when you tell someone how much you appreciate something they do, and that goes a long way. Every little word that you get from someone means something, even the discouraging ones, especially the discouraging ones. It's sad how you can get 100 encouraging comments and then you focus on the one discouraging one. It's a strange thing about human nature, and I try not to fall into that at all. But yeah, after so much affirmation, you sort of start to believe, yeah, I've got something to offer the world, and I'm here for this purpose right now, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And if the best of my ability doesn't measure up to someone else's standards, then that's fine too. We all have our different standards and likes. So that's a long answer for, do I ever get nervous? Freddie was the same. He used to be so nervous before a show. He got to the stage and put on a cape just to dissipate and change into a stage version. Yeah, well, that's, yeah, I mean, not to try to draw more comparisons between me and Mr. Freddie Mercury, but I actually am the same way. I used to say I'm a Jekyll and Hyde whenever I go on stage. If you've met me off stage, you probably, some people are actually taken aback by how low key I am off stage. But you probably get a sense for that when I'm on video here. I'm not like, hey, look at me, look at me. That's not who I am, except when I'm on stage. I have this little cup in my life that I have to fill with attention, and I get plenty of that when I'm on stage. And when I'm off stage, this goes away, and that's shining right in my face, isn't it? That's super. That's great. Look at that. That's my favorite eyeball right there. I'm gonna try to hang on a sec. Nope, that sun's not going anywhere. That's a little better. Question. I like that question. Is your vocal range a baritone or a tenor? Stuart asks. I would say I'm a tenor, although I've never had it tested for sure. I've been told I'm a tenor. I don't think I'm a baritone. I hope to extend the bass range of my voice over the years. You know, my friend Kevin Max, who did the Bowie part in Under Pressure on Thunderbolt and Lightning, has developed this really rich, silky low end to his voice. The more, you know, the older he's gotten, and I'm starting to notice that too. The older I get, and they say that the male vocal continues to mature well, like into your mid-40s, and I'm really looking forward to developing a little more of a low range. I don't have much of it except when I only wake up in the morning, and so I tend to focus a lot on my upper range. But it's nice to go in the lower range sometimes, you know, and give your upper range a break, because it's the upper range that really tires you out real quick if you don't, you know, if you're not careful. But I would say I'm a tenor. I know there's different kinds of tenor when you talk about the classical opera world. I don't know if I'm a lyrical tenor, or I think maybe it's a lyrical tenor. Someone who's an expert in that world might have to confirm that or not confirm that. That's great. Thanks for sticking around, Marc. That was the latest set I've performed in probably years. We started at 1:45, and I usually go to bed at 1:30. So it's tough to be, you know, when you think about it, it's strange. People wonder, why do musicians get up so late? Well, we have to be in top physical performance, usually around 9 p.m. That's usually like the middle of the show, right? And so it's hard to be on a regular, normal sleep schedule when you're a musician, because it's very demanding physically. You know, yes, we get to do something that is considered play. Sometimes we'll say, oh, I played a show, but it's work. And you got to be in top shape at 9 p.m., which, you know, for normal people, they're just winding down at that time and, you know, starting to watch late night shows and getting ready for bed. I guess nobody really watches late night shows anymore when they're actually airing. Susanna Camino asked, do I sing like Michael Jackson too? I can do a decent Michael Jackson, but my voice isn't warmed up right now, and he was definitely a higher singer. He had a higher voice than Freddie, so I'm not going to attempt that right now.